Okay.
Be on the road. Be on the road. We are live. Here's a thing.
Oh Lord, that's what she named it.
Be on the road. We are live. Mm.
Oh goodness, all I see is that fan.
Right. I say I wasn't noticing it, but hey, maybe. All right, those as you join, please say hello. Let us know you're here. Oh Lord, Chats ain't here to do the intro. You gonna do the intro?
No.
She said, She said, "Oh, it was just a guess." Come on, all she do is say, "Welcome to Cajun Pod. I'm Cajun B." Nah, it's all right. No intro. No intro tonight. Move it back like you had it.
Was it messed up? Did I mess it up?
Yeah, go there. Mm. All right, y'all. We are going to play the intro video. As we do, please say hello. Let us know you're here, and please share. Pretty please with sugar on top. Hello. Sorry. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Occasionally Posh. As you can see, Chastity B is not here. She may or may not be joining, but she is at play rehearsal, doing her acting thing. So Tierra, aka T, said she would come in and substitute, give her wisdom and her good humor, and we're gonna get through these topics.
Wisdom.
Chastity said she had to be just a little bit ratchet, but we'll see. We'll see if she can bring out the ratchet on the show tonight.
I've been trying to channel it.
Trying to channel Chastity B.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. But we always start with a foreplay, and I got two somewhere here. All right. So I seen this on somebody's Facebook page, and I don't know why, but it was hilarious to me. It says, I just heard wipe me down and got a word. This man said, I pull up at the crib, VIP, gas tank on E, and all drinks on me. Meaning, even in the midst of his own struggle, my God, he was willing to be a blessing to others. Look at your neighbor and say, wipe me down.
Yes. Hmm.
Would you call that ignorance, or would you call that looking at the bright side?
Listen, the Lord is available to all of us in many ways, and what Boosie said was a word.
Amen.
I mean, a word that can get you into debt, but
don't get you stranded.
yeah.
Is it really an even score if I buy you drinks all night, but then you gotta take me home because I can't get home?
Somebody has to drive. I mean, nowadays you can just Uber though. So I mean, but that wasn't available when he made the song. But he had faith that a ride would be there when he was ready to go home.
Faith.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do that.
I'd never done that. I at least left $5. But back in the day, $5 would get you there and back. I don't know about today. $5 might not get you at the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, $5 could get you a couple of places. I at least put 5 in that bad boy.
It could have got you somewhere. And you had to go ahead and take it out though. If you had something like Wells Fargo, there'd be a fee, and next thing you know, you check your card, $2 on there.
$2.99. Rough out here for opinions. Rough out here. What y'all think y'all watching? Y'all think this is a word from Boosie? Or do you think whoever this dude is on Twitter just being ignorant? I would love to know. The second thing I seen on Facebook, and I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it. This guy pull up a plate with 2 sloppy joes, ketchup, and chips. And he says, B made me 2 sloppy joes and some chips. I swear to God, I'm not ever coming here anymore. And then people was in the comments like, that's why women ain't got a man. That's what they don't make no sense. That ain't no meal. What I look like a child, blah, 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 blah. When I looked at it, I'm like, I still eat a sloppy joe to this day. Well, I know you won't, you don't eat meat. But
No.
sloppy joe good. I don't care what
I might eat a Beyond Sloppy Joe. Impossible Sloppy Joe. I might. It's on the plate. She gave him 2 of them and chips. I came from a bag of chips too. From a big bag, from a family size. Okay, she gave him something. What's that sauce on the side though? What's that for?
I think it's ketchup. I don't know what it's for, but it looked like ketchup to me. I don't know.
Didn't either.
But you know, like I said, some people was going in on the woman saying she ain't worth nothing, and then some people was like, "Y'all just ain't never gonna be happy."
What kind of meals they want the women to make? Steak dinner.
Steak and eggs. I don't know.
Steak is expensive. I mean, for somebody who just coming over, how long she gonna see him? I mean, she could have a steak for her. Why she gotta waste a steak on somebody coming over? Who knows how many times?
Right. The fact that she's going out of her way to feed you, to me, I don't see the issue. But this is also one moment in time too. Like this could have been, we didn't really plan nothing tonight, but you know, I throw something together. This could have been, you know what I'm saying? I done cooked you good dinner Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You coming over Thursday, it's gonna be something light. Like we ain't really getting the full story. Yeah, and even if it ain't none of that, and it's just the first night, now you just done judged her off of something. At least
what did he cook? What did he bring over? Anything? I bet he didn't bring nothing. I mean, he didn't bring nothing. No chips, nothing to drink, nothing.
No flowers. Unappreciation.
Nothing. He didn't bring nothing. Maybe it was a night you're a single person like me. I could have been just fixing something for me, and then somebody wants to come over. They can have some of what I made, but I didn't make myself nothing fancy. I have leftover meatless spaghetti. He can have that. Then I'll be on Facebook.
You be on Facebook talked about, okay? Can't win. Chris, thanks for joining. He said throw some mayo and cheese on that bad boy. I know that's right. She had some cheese on it now. I can't say about the mayo. She definitely has some cheese. I like mustard and cheese on mine, but people think I'm weird.
You don't have nothing on there. The sloppy Joe has all the sauce in it already. You don't need extra sauce.
It had all the sauce in there when you ate it at the schoolhouse, but you know, back in our homes, we're gonna add something to it. Okay, it ain't nothing just plain. Okay, plain
for me.
Yolanda said, "Hello, everyone. Hey, Yolanda, thanks for joining." Vern said she even put cheese on it. Right, it didn't even look like good mint cheese. It had a little flex on it. It had a little flex. It had a little curve. That's some good sliced cheese. And then Q said, I'm from the trenches. I'm smacking that fast. I eat it like it was the best dinner she made. He made.
Thank you so much. I have not had sloppy joes in a while. If it was just me, a friend, girl, thank you. Well, I mean, if I was eating the meat, but you know.
Right. I don't know what happened to us. The thought that counts. What happened to that generation?
Was that us? Was that who was the thought that counts? Was that Gen Z? That was Gen. Was that the boomers?
I don't know. It was one of them. Maybe it don't really have to do with age. Maybe it's just a person, I guess. But should be that the thought that counts.
It should be.
Should be, but it ain't. It ain't. All right. Well, that was our foreplay for tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in with that. I ain't gonna start with the topic of the show yet. I want to start with something else. It's been months and months, or just months and months ago. The whole situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith happened at their awards, and everybody was all up in arms, and some people understood and some people didn't, and it was a whole thing. Well, I don't know if you know it or seen it, but a couple days ago, Will Smith actually did an apology. So I'm gonna play it.
Chris, I apologize to you. Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
All right. How you feel about it?
He looked like he was still hurt a little. He looked like he was torn up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a part in there. He said he didn't wanna. He said he didn't wanna. He was trying to, I guess, know he did something wrong without like treating himself like he was a piece of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, he looked real hurt when he said that. But he did embarrass that man publicly, and so he had to apologize publicly.
Right.
I don't know about all those other apologies, but I mean, if he felt he had to do it, then I guess so. I
Yeah.
don't know if those other people were hurt. They apologized. They're probably embarrassed.
Yeah, I think he probably in the moment, we all have done something in the moment that's stupid and it's not well thought of. And even if the people around you be like, yeah, you took up for your woman or you took up for your man, like we done all been there. And then you kind of you mold over, you think about it a little bit, it's settled in your spirit, and you like, if it would have been the other way around, I'd be mad as you know what I'm saying? Like we all done been there. So me personally, I truly feel that he acted in the moment off of emotion and anger and past trauma, and he's so tired of people putting Jada in everything. And I mean, I feel like he just acted in the moment, and people should be upset, yes, but I actually agree with the statement. You hear my son? I actually agree with the statement when he said, "I try not to tell myself that I'm a bad person, pretty much because of one situation." Because before this, you didn't hear it. I mean, we heard a lot of things about Jada. We ain't heard a whole bunch about Will as far as being that far negative, other than having to open marriage, which that's their business.
It's a business. I like that he read that question though, because people swore up and down it was Jada. She made him do it. I was like, what's it gonna be, y'all? Okay, either she control him and he do everything she say, or she ain't got his back. Like which if he had started to get up and the audience saw her pull Will's arm, they would have been like, see, she always trying to control that man. She never let him do what he want to do. He made a
Right.
mistake marrying her. No matter what she did, the camera was going to pan to them on that joke, and it would have been something either way. But she does
Mhm.
not control him.
She's not. She's not at all. So yeah, I mean, I respect him for making the apology, and I think two things can be true. Some people saying, "Oh, he just saying that because he losing money and blase blase," and that could be true, but he could also truly be sorry. I think everybody always feel like it's one thing or another. No, it can be both true. That yeah, I'm losing bread, but also I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it can be both because this is his job, his money. If you did something that hurt somebody at work, even if you weren't wrong or didn't feel like you were wrong or you don't care about it anymore, you might still have to apologize. You get called in the office about it
Right.
because it's your job. Now, if you don't want the job anymore, then forget it. But
Right. Right.
you've had to apologize, and we've been doing that since we were children.
Yep.
Like, no, he hit me first. Apologize.
Yep.
Still.
Yep. I
So,
have actually been a person who's in, like you said, in a work environment where somebody was mistreating me and they did it over a spell of time. Well, then I got to the point where I was fed up and I just went off on the helper. Like, it was just, I ain't even care about the job at this point. Like, I just went off on and said some things I shouldn't have said. And it happened. And I didn't get in trouble like I thought I was or whatever. And everybody said I was right. And she deserved it. And somebody finally needed to knock her down a peg and blase, blase. And all could be true, maybe. Um, But then I know people gonna feel like this is real churchy, but God dealt with me because of my behavior and told me that I cannot. Again, two things can be true. She can be a bad person, but I could have treated her poorly.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to apologize for my part, even if she never apologizes for hers.
Right.
And see, that's the hard part. People be like, all right, I done said sorry, your turn.
Mhm.
They be like, I done said it now.
Now you say sorry to me. Okay.
Right.
And they be like, well, I'm sorry if. So I think
Uh-huh.
he had a good crafted apology. I'm sorry for what I did. Not if you felt hurt, if people felt hurt. He apologized for people who felt hurt,
Right.
period.
Right.
Um, and I've had to apologize. Sometimes I apologize so quick people think I'm joking. They be like, nah, that wasn't right. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, see, you always joking. I'm like, no, for real. I apologize. I didn't, I'm not here to hurt nobody. Sometimes I speak a little too quickly. I just be making a little jokey joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it's insensitive. I'm like, I'm sorry, and I just put that in my notebook for later. Like, here, you
Right.
watch it now. People have feelings out here. And if it don't matter that much to me, if I was hurt the least, then I don't mind apologizing.
Right.
Like he
Right.
was hurt the least. He might have lost a few things, but he got to go away and, heal whatever he was doing in the Himalayas or whatever. I don't know where he was at, but he got to do all of that stuff. He was hurt the least. Chris Rock on stage dealing with it. People still talking about it. They're gonna talk about it next year at the awards again.
Right.
Um, so he
Yeah.
was fine to apologize. Plus, he said he know those people personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, his apology was better than Kim Burrell's. I'm sorry. I really am. I was just joking. I thought it was telling a joke. Like, no, just say you were sorry.
Won't tell him
or
no
the
joke.
or the pastor. I don't know if you the pastor that we talked about last week. It was an interview or something that happened. I haven't seen the whole interview, but he was like making excuses. Was I turned into a different person. I was human in that moment, and that's why it happened or something. When he was cussing this girl, I'm not. I think he did cuss Ashley girl out on the interview. I don't know, but I'm like, oh, so now that's an excuse too, or I just had a human moment.
Mhm. You need to
Like,
just be apologizing. What I said was wrong, period. I apologize, period.
right,
And then you
right,
have to know as an adult, and it seems like he understood that, but you have to know as an adult that they might not forgive you. I mean, it's no hugs, it's not kindergarten. You don't hug and y'all play afterwards. You might not ever play again. And if
right.
it was me, okay, I have some really good friends. But if you hit me, we're not friends anymore ever in your life. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to my family. Don't call my granddaddy nothing.
Mm-mm. Don't bring my grandma no bowl of sugar. No,
Nothing. If you hit me
nothing.
as an adult, like you just slap me. You're like, Shadonna, I mean, we haven't known each other long, but I just don't think I could get past it. I'd be like, okay, fine, I don't hate her, but there's no way I would ever trust you raising your hand around me.
Right,
You
right.
put your hand up like this, I'll be like, oh Jesus. You know,
Oh man, well we could keep talking about this on and on, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. All right, so as y'all seen from the title, then we're gonna Tierra brought this amazing topic to the show. So I'll go read it. Well, I'm gonna let her lead it. Now, look, she said I'm just a damn guest, man. She said I'm just a guest. But here we go. All right. So the topic above it says heterosexual male culture is homoerotic. It is male loving. And then the article says to say that straight men are heterosexual is only to say that they engage in sex, effing exclusively with other sex, i.e., women. All or almost all of that which pertains to love, most straight men reserve exclusively for other men. The people whom they admire, respect, adore, revere, honor, whom they imitate, idolize, and form profound attachments to, whom they are willing to teach and from whom they are willing to learn, and whose respect, admiration, recognition, honor, reverence, and love they desire. Those are overwhelmingly other men. In their relationships with women, what passes for respect is kindness, generosity, or paternalism. I hope I say that right. Probably didn't. What passes for honor and removal to the pedestal. From women, they want devotion, service, and sex. Heterosexual male culture is homoerotic. It is man loving. So tell the people your perspective on this situationship.
Now, when I sent it, I just thought it was interesting. I seen it on one of my friends' page, and of course, when I see something like this, I always go to the comments. I'm like, what are the men saying? Because this is about them. And
Right.
if it was about women, I'd be like, what are the women saying? Because this
Hmm.
this is about us. What are y'all saying in the comments? So, um, I think some men do have really close relationships, but I was watching one of your episodes, and some men don't have any guy friends. Uh,
Right.
so I can see where some men are like, no, or the friends that they do have, like they've been rocking and rolling with for a long time, and they might not be close to any woman like that, especially if they're single. They may not have any friends like that. If they did have a friend like that, though, and then they had a girlfriend, she'd be like, y'all are way too close.
Right. Right.
So I get what the author is saying here, but to have those kinds of friendships with many, it's just not acceptable in all circles if you had a female friend like that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it might be the same if a female had a male friend like that. And be like,
Right.
oh, y'all are way too close.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, one of the comments on it, I can it was from a woman, and she says well, she said it's a response from man. So never mind. It says I can see the concept of what they are saying, but I personally don't agree to an extent. Most men first association with love naturally occurs when their mothers with their mothers. So it say men by default love other men. I disagree, and people who I admire, respect, and adore, blah blah blah, and it cut off for some reason. But that is what they say. They say your first love is your mom.
Hmm.
That's why they call me and mama's boys and things of that nature. So how do you go and I can agree to that because both I got two boys and they tend to just flaunt to mama. So it happens. So how can you go from that to saying that now really all you want from them is sex, but you want all the other components from a male?
This is one perspective to throw into the pot. I know people were all up in arms. I'm like, just read it and think about it.
Yeah, ain't no such
Some
thing
people
of
want
that.
it to be true, all balled up every time.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of stuff like that. All these kind of theories about women and friendships, with single women, and y'all be laughing and talking about it on this podcast,
Right,
and discuss it and be like, well, this part could be true. Or I see where this part could be true.
right.
Um, but when it's the other way around, there's just be a lot of anger. Y'all always getting on the men. Y'all let the men. This is crazy. I'm like, well, sometimes,
Mhm,
some men don't give that to other women. I
mhm,
know all types. Some that have really close relationship with their boys. They'll be there in a minute. They'll leave their girlfriend house. Go, they gotta go do this for their boy. They gotta go
mhm.
do this. They've been in trouble for their boy, but they won't, leave their house to go and do something for their girlfriend,
Right, right.
for
It does happen.
for their
It
wife. What? You forgot your lunch. You better buy something. You're like,
right.
if your boy
And
forgot his lunch, you would have been there.
right. And I do agree. I do think they make it a bigger deal on one side than they do the other because somebody or a comedian or something literally just said a few months back, like, women, y'all don't need men because you got your girlfriends. And he made a whole argument of you go to your girlfriends, you talk to her, y'all make life decisions together. She's the first person you call. She the one you like really trust and believe in and lay your head. And then you just come to me and we ain't got nothing to give. You just want us to pay the bills and sit on our side of the house. Like they literally just said the same thing about women in reverse. But hey, that rolled over in 2.2 seconds, but this got 1,100,000 comments.
And this is her book, right? I mean, she's got a whole book. It's just interesting. I mean, and that's just one little piece. Who knows what's in the whole thing? But I read something. I know I was saying it could be triggered from it. I read something really toxic and bad. I just read a couple pages of it about Black women. I was like, this is crazy. This is hate speech. I can't believe something out here is published like this. So,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of comments on it. A lot of comments. I was looking in the comments on Amazon. They were like, yeah, this speaks to me. This is what I've been thinking. But you put it into words. I was like, what? How? How could this how do so many people agree with this? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
They do
don't know.
have close relationships. Maybe as a woman, if we're just looking at it, I mean, could be, some women could be jealous of that relationship they have with their boys. They want that. You be close to me.
I
Tell
about to
me
say
your
that's
problem.
typically what it is if you really break it down. For most, I ain't gonna say for all, but because it is some people who just put their focus in wrong places. So I'm not trying to take away from that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'm gonna do one of Chastity's percentage, 99.9%. You be jealous, and we hate to admit as humans when we jealous. It's like a stigma, like, oh my god, you jealous? That's the worst thing in the world. People get jealous. It's a human emotion. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's
People
our
get jealous. I don't
people
think
get
it's always bad. It just means I want that.
mm-hmm.
I would like that in my life. I
Exactly.
would like that feeling. I'd be jealous. You
Right.
can't really tell nobody you jealous. If you say you jealous, I mean, I think right now that's probably like, man, you just hate me. Like, I'm not hating. I'm saying I see the relationship that you have with your boys, and I would
Right.
like you to have that relationship with me. And then, girl, you're tripping. Or maybe
Right.
it's too soon. Some of this stuff is like boyfriend and girlfriend. It's like, I mean, I know you for 2 months. We've had a good 6 months, 7 months, but my boys, like we were. I know him since middle school. That's like my brother.
Right. That's family. That's family.
Right. I don't know, except for when you had that Friends episode with the guys, and they went as friends as adults, but I feel like a lot of guys I know, like their friends, they've had like since forever. These are
Mm.
not new
They
people.
ain't just picked them up somewhere. Yeah. They done had them
Hmm.
for a minute. They done had them for a minute. Yeah. I don't know. And some of that is just miscommunication. Like a lot of times we don't communicate the jealousy. It just show up and appear, and it's usually at its highest point of opinion.
Yeah,
It ain't
threw
when it
dinner
first
away. Threw it away because
happened.
you ain't have dinner with your friends.
Exactly. Are you with them again? Like, then you just look
Oh,
crazy and
God.
clingy when you literally could have just said it months ago and said it. Like, I say it all the time. It ain't what you say; it's how you say it. You could be like, "Hey, I understand your relationship with your boys. I get it because I got my girls. But how can we find a balance?" That's all you have
Mhm.
to say. Boom, work it through. Be done with it.
Work it out. Man, there's this Martin stand up called "You So Crazy." Have you seen?
Mm-hmm.
He got that joke in there when it's like this girl, she wanted to spend time. It's like, I just want to spend some time with you. I know I ain't spending time with my man on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but tomorrow's Thursday, so I know I spend some time with my man. And
Mm-hmm.
long story short, it got to Sunday, and she had a new man. And he was like, "Girl,
Oh.
I said, but you were upside your head."
Hey, she knew what she wanted. No.
You always going to spend time with your friends with Craig and them.
Oh man. Well, just to close that topic out, I'm gonna play this video from TikTok.
Okay, I honestly wasn't gonna make this video, but I've seen a few comments similar to this one and just a lot of things in the comments that I just want to clear up. But before that though, I just want to say 1.6 million views and counting. That's crazy as hell. Did not expect that. I just recorded that video on a whim and just posted it. So if it resonated, shout out to you. If it pissed you off, shout out to you. But yeah, let's clear some things up. Again, this comment right here and similar comments to this, I agree with this comment actually. It is harmful. I've talked a bit about friendships, male friendships on my page, and the benefit of friendships on people's overall well-being. In my opinion and from my interpretation, I don't think that quote was a critique on men's friendships, but more so a critique on how heterosexual men, despite being heterosexual, center men and maleness. It is totally natural to want to befriend, hang out, build community with people that look like you, other men, right? People of the same gender. But what's strange to me is when you can't allocate those same characteristics, respect, admire, whatever, to other people. That's pretty strange to me. Men can do all these things toward other men, but can't allocate any of that or leave any space for that for the women who they so desire the attention of. Some men don't even think they can even be friends with women. So at the end, when she says, from women, men only want sex, devotion, and service, I think that's pretty weird. Yes, male culture is man loving. Yeah. Some of y'all don't like women for real. Y'all don't see women as people.
Sorry, I should have cut off the beginning of that. I was
What do
rushing.
you think about that, Shadonna?
Look, she trying to reverse it on me. She trying to reverse it on me. Um, I agree. I agree. I think people took it too far and trying to. Well, first of all, they probably put the gay in it because of the homo erotic piece, which is when I
Mhm.
looked at the definition doesn't go. So I don't know. At least unless I read the definition wrong, it don't fit to me.
I ain't look it up.
Hold on, let me
What is that?
homoerotic. Says it's concerning or arousing sexual desire centered on a person of the same sex, which means you desire a man would desire a man. But that post saying they want the sex from the women, they just want all the other stuff from the men, right?
Mhm.
So that don't go.
No,
It don't match. So
it don't go and match. I wonder. You know, you're right.
So I think number one, that's where it went wrong because they put that pieces in it and it's contradicting itself. Uh, but I also do believe that sometimes some men, I ain't saying all, and some women, I ain't saying all, we objectify the other sex and we just don't want to admit it. We treat them like a piece of property.
Mhm.
They scheduled to come and take care of the kids and scheduled to lay down in the bed and give you what you need and scheduled to do it all over the mall. Like people
Sound like
don't know
Color Purple.
how
When he finished, he lay on top of me and do his.
do his
Yeah.
business. Right. So yeah, I don't think people realize, well, some people do realize and they just don't care. But a lot of people in relationships, at the end of the day, that you just don't know how to relationship. And instead of figuring that out, going to therapy, getting it fixed and working through it and going about your business. Or instead of being okay with that and communicating that that's all you need from someone, you kind of do this little middle way thing. Where you doing a little bit of both. And it's like,
Mhm.
it's 2022. We're gonna start being either number one, honest with ourselves and other people, and number two, realizing that we need help and go seek some therapy.
Oof. Therapy. I'm a big advocate for it. I learned a lot in therapy myself. We're talking about who I be dating on here, but I did date this guy who obviously had no friends, and I was like, he wants too much of me. He needs some friends, because I just can't be all of that. So it probably just needs to be a whole person, a whole and complete person with family and friendships that they can rely on, and another complete person with, family
Hmm.
and friendships they can rely on. And then they're only, depending, I guess, on each other on, I guess, what they have mutually decided to depend on each other for. But nobody's
Hmm.
jealous of anybody else's friendships. And I think now that you have read the definition, that what men have, and they would probably disagree, it's just intimacy, but not a sexual kind of intimacy, meaning like a closeness, a familiarity, a bond, you know,
Hmm.
things that we have in common that we share. It's just us in intimacy. That's not sexual. And probably because of the relationship between men and women and what we mostly seek out each other for,
Right.
then what was at the end there for what was it, sex and what? Servitude?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
For I would say for the sex. I can't speak to the servitude. I think that's just culture. But for the sex part, it's just what we, I guess, mostly, I guess, look at each other for after being friends, like in school, and from adults, it's like from then on, that's it until it's time to get married and you're looking for a partner, but you still want
Hmm.
the sex part. But it sounds like more like intimacy, not homeo
Right.
homoeroticism, but that
Right.
intimacy between men, and women have an intimacy too, like that. I mean, y'all
Oh
go see
yeah.
the women, like, because we have that intimacy. They have the shared experience that I don't have to explain. I say, it was rough, and they're like, yeah, sometimes it is rough. We don't have to discuss what rough means.
It's
at a
what
certain
it is to
time.
you.
You know, we know.
Right.
I know I've been feeling rough, and we both know this. We don't have to talk about it. Versus a man, what do you mean it was rough today? It was, you know, rough,
Mhm,
hard. I
mhm,
mean, a lot. You
mhm.
can't even explain it. It's just intimacy.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely intimacy issues, and a lot of that is like you said, a lot of that is because we start off with sex. Let's just be real. People don't want to say, "I need to know if it's gonna work. I got to test it out." All right, you tested it out, and now you hooked on the sex. But then if you find out you don't even really like the person,
mhm,
you trying to make up reasons of why you like him. Well, he did put his socks on today. Like
mhm,
you like his,
mhm.
you making up stuff at this point because the sex is good.
Don't like them. Don't like spending time with them. Don't like the stuff he be talking about. You say stupid stuff all the time. You're like, what are you talking about?
Right. Can't even form a sentence. Credit score of 2.5. Like he ain't got nothing. The partner ain't got nothing.
What was I thinking? It do be like that. When you be leading with sex and then be looking for intimacy later. Like, you gotta make sure
Right.
that's there first.
And sex and intimacy is not the same. It's not just all in one. A
They
lot
are
of people
not
make that
the
mistake.
same.
It is not the same.
Mhm.
It's not the same. I'm gonna leave y'all to learn the definition of the two. And all these people out here, men and women, I can separate the two. I can still have good sex and get to know them, and it be all good. You can't.
And you could, I would say you probably think that you do, but you could have like better sex. Like when people, if you start exercising and working out, and you feeling good and you're living better. Versus people like, I'm all right. I be eating chicken. I be doing whatever. I be feeling good. You think you feel good until you go on a little cleanse. You do a little fast at the church. You be like, I felt really good afterwards. Be like, yeah, you usually feel okay, but you could be feeling good. You could be feeling great.
Mhm. You right. You right. So Chassie done joined. She said, "Hey y'all, hey
Hi.
Chas, hey, guess you done with practice."
Good
She said,
morning.
we be saying he called me before noon. Look, he sent that good morning text that he copied and pasted and sent to everybody else. No.
Good morning, Queen.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, beautiful.
Mhm. And then she said, "Yes, you can." And I already know what she talking about. Could talking about you could separate the two. You can't.
You can separate the two and have something that's okay. But I know it don't compare to the things that were great.
Yeah.
I know it don't.
Right. Your sister said, "Hey, sissy."
Hey, boo.
She said, "No, they still there." My bad. And then she said, I hate it." Know what I mean?
I hate it. Maybe.
I hate it. Oh, okay. I hate it. Oh man, but yeah. If y'all get out there, get you some therapy, work on those issues,
Mm,
and get it together. Get it
get
together.
you some therapy. Where the therapist at? You have her back on. You have her on once a month.
I know. We told her they're gonna bring you on about her. Oh, she talking about Good Morning Queen is the worst.
Oh,
It is.
good morning, Queen. You like, you didn't get nothing after that. It's good morning. How'd you sleep? Nothing. Because he moving on. He got 7 more people to text. Can't have conversations. You're queen, okay? And her, and her, and her. And by the time you send 7 text messages, now he got to move on. Text the boys. More personal conversation.
Chastity said, "No, the worst is Grand Ri." No, she said, "No, Grand Rising is the worst." She said, "I'm not a biscuit." I ain't never had nobody say Grand Rising to me. Whew, that's
Grand
rough.
Rising. No, those people don't get my number. We online. I'm like, Grand Rising, I'm at.
Immediately, he might be a good person. Don't do that.
Listen, the Grand Rising people somehow be the same kind of people. They the
Mm,
same as the pyramid scheme people. You kind of know when it's when it's
I'm
building up.
done.
Like, oh
I'm
God,
good.
I
You
already
already
know
know
what's
when you
next.
see the first warning sign. Abort, abort.
I hear the question. Is your hair natural? Oh Lord. You already know where this is going. You don't need all that makeup.
Yeah. Don't look at
Women
me.
these days.
Oh, I can't stand when you know how y'all women don't do that. Can't stand it with a
That's
passion.
2 sentences after Grand Rising Queen. Okay.
That's 2 sentences. 2.5. Okay. All right, moving on. Just to make it a little bit more light again. I want to know how you feel. You know, you get a little text, you know what I'm saying, from the girls. You saying, let's go out for some brunch. You think you going to a nice brunch spot, you know, put on your little, you know, your summer brunch outfit on, and you ready to get in there, have a good time, get your mimosa.
Okay, I
This is,
see it.
you see it, you see it, you visualize it. All right, you
Mhm.
there. This what happened.
In the corner. What was happening over there? What was what was going on?
A rabbit hump in his lap. I ain't never seen a woman rabbit hump. I don't
Was
know.
that the chef standing there with his hands? Like, now what in
I
the
feel
haberdasheries and hemoglobin is going on? He didn't know what to say. Do I stop it or?
I feel like I need to play it again. Just one more time. Hold on. I want you to see it again. Whoo! How you feel? You still gonna stay and eat?
If my food came, if my food came already, if not, I'll be like, now it depends. Am I on vacation? Because I, if I'm on vacation, I might not mind. I'll be like, they are wild out here. Could I have another? Could we all have mimosas? Or, I'm trying to get like what she doing. If it's, you know,
Right.
Sunday brunch, I'm trying to get ready to go back, to work. I'm trying to have some girl talk. I'm like, this is, but what music they playing? I
Oh
mean,
no.
what
It
was
sounded like
that?
a club. That ain't no just coming from the speakers in the ceiling music. That was
Mhm.
bassy. That had some bass to it. Like it might be a club at night, is what I'm thinking. Ain't no way that's just no regular brunch spot.
No, 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 no. No. I don't think I heard any music when I go to brunch. I think it's all I hear is plates clinking. Uh, that looked like a place where you play. That was that thing had happened at that place in Atlanta, I think, where the owner was mad because women were twerking, and he was like,
Mm.
"No, no twerking. This is a classy establishment." They was like, it was it was called trap brunch or something like that.
Ah, yeah. So
Man,
you had
the
you had
environment is set up.
right.
What's working in here? But he was like, "That's not this kind of place. They making it ghetto and ratchet." I was like, "You making
Sir, I'm gonna
it?"
need you to do your strategic and strategy team meeting with the folk, because you know anything that got trap in front of it gonna be lit.
Mhm. It
Trap
was
and paint, lit. Trap
lit.
karaoke, lit. Trap brunch, lit. Like, it ain't going nowhere classy with trap in
Mhm.
the name, sir.
No, and plus, now if there's no liquor, it could still be classy. But if there's liquor involved, wine, a spritzer, none of that. Okay, if it's a dry trap and brunch, trap and paint, no liquor, then there will
Mhm,
likely be no twerking. Maybe
mhm.
there's going to be some, but probably not to that level. Probably no twerking on the table, but they might still twerk in their chairs on the way to the bathroom. But they're
Right.
not going to twerk on other people unless they got a little flash.
They gonna have a flash. I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody ain't no trapping nothing with dry. Ain't nobody trap nothing dry. Okay, I'm gonna
They
tell
gonna
you
be
right
like,
now.
dry. I'm glad I brought my flash.
They pulling it out the boobs and everything. Ain't nobody in there dry. I'm saying right now.
They was
Even
getting it, and they had it on camera. Now I went to a trap and paint, and there may or may not have been twerking involved by me and my friends. But when the camera came around, we sat down and we painted because you know if I have nobody on camera, it's a professional group here.
So T saying they got somebody on lookout, like it's coming, it's on the way, right now, sit down.
Camera doing that kind of stuff, he'll be fine. Her face is all in the thing. They'll be like, you look familiar. And you know you can search by the photo now.
You sure can. You can do a Google a photo reverse. Sure can. Drag and drop that bad boy. People don't know.
He was darker.
No, people do not know. Chastity said she just yelled. Your sis said, ha ha ha, girl, that was her man. I don't know, T. That's one of them things where you desperate and you trying to get him to the house. To me, that didn't look. That's my manish. That looked like this gonna be my manish. That's her man.
Well, why was they doing that at the first time?
They look like, girl, I'm gonna get him. That's what they look like.
Well,
he going home with me today, this morning. He can't even say tonight. He going home with me this morning.
He was happy, and I'm sure there may be men cheering for him. You know, she's doing what it takes to keep her man happy. Now, because she's not a professional, she don't gotta worry about maybe.
Don't know she ain't no professional.
I said maybe no face, no case. Her face wasn't in there. Was her face to the side?
Was in there? No, I think it was. I don't really know. I wasn't really looking. I was looking at the whole belly, butt, and the fast movement situation. I
was looking at the chef because he was shaming those people. Now, what in the world is he thinking that young lady atop that man's lap? He was shaming them. He was going to talk to them real good later. And
he was.
Good stern talking to was coming.
He was. Oh man. All right. Next topic. Kevin Hart did an interview recently, and it's actually really, the whole entire interview is actually really good. But I wanted to play. I said this was gonna be the commercial break, but I'm not. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it and cut it out because it's 4 minutes long. But I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Our culture f***s it up more than anybody else. We're very self-destructive when we get to the places where that financial revenue changes. What you get? Oh, I should be getting how much is very
right.
And that's a problem. So if you don't personally try to break that chain from the top by leading with the position of we are all going to be good because we're going to make sure that we hold each other accountable, we take care of our own, but more importantly, we grow. The day that we get into the space of competitiveness, the day that our egos overpower and overshadow the opportunity ahead of us, we lose. Right now, if I ask you guys to tell me 5 bands, 5 music groups that are still together from back in the day, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Nobody asks themselves why. Why do they all break up?
Money.
Why do they all fucking break up?
Ain't the money?
I'm just saying, like, that's not nobody sees this. We ignore it. Why are we the culture that's always behind this shit ain't work? It ain't working out. We ain't that. It ain't. I just heard Desus and Mero broke up, and I'm a fucking fan of these guys. By the way, the future is so bright for that thing. That IP, that opportunity, that whatever. Then I see him going back and forth on social media with what's happening? Why can't we ever surpass or overcome the financial hurdles that present themselves and stay connected? Why can't we do that?
It's called ego.
So yes, like I said, it's 5 minutes long. I ain't gonna play 4 minutes, so I ain't gonna play those videos. But do you agree with that? Do you feel like our culture can never? Do you feel like our culture can never hold hands with each other and everybody come up? Versus, I get a little bread in my pocket. Now I'm good. I gotta do me. We got this do me culture.
Is it ego though?
Yeah, it is. And they go in on to say it more and more and more. I mean, it's like I said, if you ain't watched the interview, you gotta go watch the whole thing. But how you feel about that piece?
I don't know if it's ego, because I wondered if he would have said the same thing before he had money. I feel like the more money you have, and this come from a person who was very poor and now can pay the bill. I ain't rich or nothing like that. But when you don't have money, the way you think about money is different. And of course, if you had $0 today and the chance to make $50 today and 100 the next day and more, then you've come from a place where you had zero. And it ain't until you probably have like $1 million where you can think like, man, people be arguing over something like money. But if you had zero, you'd be like, yeah, I'm arguing over money. That's my $50. Like,
Right.
when you're rich, I think the conversation on money is different. Like, of course, we should care about our bonds and each other, but it's not like maybe like the people who have money are always sharing with the people who don't have money because it's such a little thing. Like people, be applying for grants for a smidgen of money, prices going up. People like, oh, stuff high, but I mean, there's still plenty of videos about, making bands and throwing it on strippers and buying cars and new houses, all kinds of stuff. People just wasting money. But then when people who don't have it complain about it or fight for it or scramble for it, I feel like it'd be the people with money that be like, what about your bonds? Like, well, no, I need the $50 tomorrow. I got to pay something. Like, it's not like I just want money for fun. I have things I have to pay. I have food I need to eat. I've got kids. I don't have any kids, but people have responsibilities. I don't know. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if you can say it's just ego when people have needs and responsibilities.
Right. Well, I want to make it clear, Kevin didn't say it was egos. It was the other dude in the interview that said egos. But I can see it from both point of views. I don't think the thing that I had got from what he was saying is that we can't just wholeheartedly support each other from beginning to end and want everybody to win. And I agree with that. If you look at all the other races, because when he say culture, to me, that means our culture, the blackness, whatever. You look at all other races, Hispanics, they look out for the whole entire family. It don't matter. They got $2, $22, $2,200. They're going to make sure that everybody good. They're going to, it might take a avenue where they struggle and everybody going to live together for a while and everybody going to work and grind hard. But the point is, they have a mindset of what's best for the family. Period. Not what's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times in our families, we may start off that way, but then as we get up out of that, we ain't all so poor anymore. Well, if I could come up, you could have done the same thing I could. Why you ain't there yet? Or it's that jealous cousin. You just got there because you kissing butt all day. Like, we can't never just be happy for each other and bring each other up. I ain't saying all, but it happened a lot. You know how many jobs I done had and women didn't like me from our culture because you doing that because you kissing butt, or you must be telling on people, or you must be doing extra work, or you must be. It's always it ain't a lot of times you got it because you good. You doing what you supposed to do. You grinding. You paying your dues. It's always got to be a butt. It's always got to be a butt on it. And then be mad at you. Yeah, I might have a little bit more paying job, but I also got more responsibilities. But when you need me, when you think you need me, and I just can't give it to you, oh, now you too good for me. Nah, you don't know what it meant no more. Nah, like, no, let's all have a mindset to help each other. And that's even on my end. Like, what can I do to help you grow? What can you do to help me grow? Let's do it and grow and grind together. A lot of folk don't have that. It's that view of it's a race of who gonna get there first. And what it is. Other cultures look out for each other. They might not even like each other. Can't stand the sight of them. Gonna talk about them. Gonna talk junk about them. But hey, that's family.
That's true. I don't know. We be having other stuff going on. I think it's tired of that. I really do think it's tired of that. Some people they just be pulling too much. If if when people got up and got money, if everybody was like, now this is what I need to do for my family or my community, but it don't be like that. I think we have a lot of examples, and it could be people of other races too, but we just don't know about those stories because we only know about our own community. Could be happening over there. We only know what's happening over here. That they're like, man, we done did all this, and now they don't want to help with this. They acting like they don't know that they came from here. They won't even take a call or make an appearance.
Right.
Well, they saying this, but I thought that they were this kind of person. I don't know. I don't know how the mindset would just have to change if it was just gonna be like, yeah, well, we just want to make sure another person is successful. I see some of it sometimes, but I don't know.
I think the caveat, oh, I don't know if that's the right word, but I
That's
think the
right.
thing, okay, I think the caveat of it is that we both have to be grinding at the same level. And that's where black folk be dropping the ball. You
Mhm,
out here working 6, 7, 8 days a week. They ain't even looking for a job, but saying, "Oh, but you supposed to look out for me." No, it ain't supposed to work like that either. Like
mhm,
we both gotta want it equally. And
mhm.
if we both want it equally and we both working at the same pace, and eventually it's gonna do like this, and then it's gonna do like this, and then it's gonna do like this. But the problem is I'm doing like this. You staying at the same spot because you're not really putting all the effort in. You got all the mouth and all the attitude of it, but action don't be lining up. But then you getting mad at me because at some point I can want to bring you up all day, but if you don't want to bring yourself up, what can I do?
Man, it's like Jody and his friend. Why not find you a job?
I can want it for you all day, but you got to want it for yourself. But then don't get mad at me because I continue to want it, and after a while, I just had to leave you behind.
Mhm.
That's the problem. Everybody want to blame the
Mhm.
person moving up. Nobody want to blame the other side.
The lot on the other side. The other side might need a little therapy. Hey, so like you can move up. You
Uh-huh.
deserve it. You know how. You're smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
You've done enough. You can move up
Mm-hmm.
if you want to. I don't know. Our culture of money is weird though because there's just so many people that just don't have it. And then like you're challenging people like during the pandemic they was like, man, y'all wasted y'all money. You need to be getting these LLCs. You need to be starting a business. You be like starting a business on what, honey? What do you want? What do you
You
want
had
them
there
to
with
do? What if they don't want to
your
start a
PPP
business?
loan at the beach throwing bands. That
You know,
ain't. I
I'm trying
pass.
to help y'all. Y'all broke boys. You don't know how to invest. You don't know how to do this. I be trying to help y'all. I be trying to put y'all on. Be like, is that in that everybody probably can't be put on that way. That doesn't mean they don't want to make money. That means they can't invest and they don't want an LLC. But
That's
maybe they would do better with the certificate. Maybe they go back to school, get GD, and then they can just get a raise at work, and they be happy. Maybe it's on up from there now that they've been exposed to a little bit more. Maybe they
right.
want to travel. It's like there's other ways of moving up.
Yep.
But it's all about having money flashing around, being a broke boy. Maybe our concept of money is what causes like the ego part of it. Or it seems like even you can have the same amount, but if it seems like somebody else has more, then you're like,
Right.
oh, well, I'm not gonna tell them this. I'm doing this to get ahead because they got more. Like, no, maybe maybe they got it on sale. Maybe it's a lease. Maybe
Right.
maybe they
Right.
got a 1 bedroom. You got a house. Maybe they have other supports, where they get money from besides that one job y'all work together at. Like
Right.
it's the comparison, maybe the comparison and
Yeah.
how we show and spend our money. Because Black people show and spend their money. It's
Yeah.
not like just I got money. Nobody knows this. So you see this chain, okay?
Right. Right.
You see
You're
the
right.
chain,
You're
right?
right. Chaz, you should just tune in. She said people act like because they don't qualify for Medicaid and food stamps, they better than their friends. So I agree. That's facts. That's facts. Hey, I wish I qualified some days. There wouldn't be no shame in my game if I could get a food stamp. And I'd be the happiest thing on earth. Ain't no shame in it. She said they talk junk, but they don't be on the internet. It's like us blacks. Wow. And some people had to use PPP loans to catch up on bills.
Mhm.
Sad but true. And then she said, and the same people saying people should have got LLCs be the first one yelling, "This is why I don't like to shop with black people. Woo!
Mhm.
Whole nother topic.
Mhm.
Whole
Saying
nother.
it publicly too. Nobody else said that. Other stuff. Be like, that's why I don't like to shop with white people. Like, why would you? Why would you? You went somewhere to a business and you weren't satisfied with the service, and that
Mhm.
can happen anywhere, anytime with anybody. Now you blasting this small business,
Right.
just getting started. You could have just
Right.
left them a little review.
Hey. Well, the
Have a
thing that get me every other time I go to Walmart, they piss me off for some reason, but I still go and don't say nothing about it. Don't say not a thing. Still go faithfully.
Still
Okay.
going. Be on the
But
phone, yeah, girl. You know I'm going to Walmart. They trash. I gotta get some that correct.
let it be a little woman trying to get her what's a paparazzi business off the ground, and she 1 day late. Well, we throwing her up under the. She ain't got the infrastructure, the staff, the vacuum, none of that.
Nothing. She ain't answer the phone when I called. She was with her mama in the hospital. Give her a minute. This her she have no employees. Just give her a minute. When you need the Lexus? Tomorrow? What you trying? You be fine. Just wait a minute.
McDonald's been in business for a long time. Ice cream machine only work 2% of the time. You still go faithfully.
It became a joke. People still go and ask. They just be joking about it. They don't really care. They still eating something else at McDonald's.
Facts. All right, I got one more topic. We doing good. One more topic. So one of our listeners came to me and had a situation surrounding Black Lives Matter. And the question pretty much surrounding it, I want to make sure, is pretty much the question I got from it is, why do people misuse or misrepresent the movement of Black Lives Matter? So in this situation, something had happened at a job where the person pretty much the black woman done something wrong, and the other black woman said, pretty much right is right and wrong is wrong. So I can't back you when you're wrong. And she threw out Black Lives Matter, and this is why it don't suffice, or people don't back it, or people don't believe in the blase because of mess like this. So in that scenario, she was putting together that Black Lives Matter and her just acting ignorant as this woman not supporting Black Lives Matter. So why do you think people misuse or misrepresent the movement of Black Lives Matter?
Well, that's a question for me.
Ain't nobody else in it.
Risky. I think just the statement and the movement, the business, you could say, of Black Lives Matter, it just doesn't agree with people's ideals. There's been some stuff that's happened. Some of it hasn't been explained, or if it has, people aren't exposed to the way it's explained. So in the news, it might be like, BLM president bought, a house, and maybe she had an explanation for that, or reason, or there was an investigation, but that part doesn't make the news. They're done with the story by then. They only explained on their Twitter, on their Instagram, they sent an apology or whatever. They explained it, but nobody's seen that. And so now they're just left with, they stealing money and they bought that house. And maybe they haven't heard anything about Black Lives Matter, the business, since who knows, the last March, and all they hear about in the news are things that are negative. They don't hear about any positive things. We don't get any updates on the business of Black Lives Matter to probably believe and support anything different. When people were, marching and rioting and signing petitions, when they were out in the forefront, you knew what Black Lives Matter was doing, but now you only hear bad stuff. There's no marketing. There's not good marketing on the business side of Black Lives Matter right now to be like, no, wait a minute, this is what we're doing. And that's what you would have heard, I feel like, from anything else, from anywhere else. They would have put out a statement. Our organization does not such and such and such and such. This does not reflect the ideals and the mission, vision, and goals of Black Lives Matter. This is, that none of that happened or came out. So some of that's on marketing. Whatever they're doing with the business side and the marketing side of things is not good. I haven't done enough research to know what is or is not true with the with the money side of things,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's wrong because people were given donations to this group for people to have questions and concerns and maybe not be willing to invest again without some more information because
Right.
definitely would do with anything else.
Right. Right. Well, when I was reading up on it, because I can sit here and be transparent and say I didn't really know like where I knew where it started from and where it stemmed from, but I didn't really. But I didn't realize it had started off with the whole Trayvon Martin situation and police brutality, and it's really supposed to be about white supremacy and the mistreatment of black folks because of the police or government or whatever the case may be. Um, and the research I did also said it's people led. So they built it surrounded around the fact that it wouldn't have like a leader per se or a spokesperson. Like it's supposed to be the people representing the people. Which I didn't know that either. I just figured they just dropped the ball and it was what it was and people just ran with it. But whenever they built this organization or movement or whatever the case may be, it was supposed to be for the people by the people, I guess. So the problem that I feel like it is that a lot of people have moved away from the initial purpose of it, which is police brutality and people, folks not being treated right in that realm, has now spanned into everything that's bad against black people is Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get the job you wanted. Black Lives Matter. You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The nail woman put red on you instead of dark burgundy. Black Lives Matter. Like everything is black people.
Everything Black Lives Matter.
Turning to Black Lives Matter. And then when it left from that, it went on to it ain't Black Lives Matter. It's all lives matter. Okay, now that's offensive. Like it just left. It went so far left from its original purpose. Which goes back to your point of it ain't good marketing, ain't good representation. I ain't even gonna say marketing per se, but it ain't good representation from the original people of the movement to say this is what it is, this is what's going on, this is being done wrong. Like even if you don't want somebody to represent it per se or to have like another Martin Luther King or Malcolm X of our generation, like you should still have some type of board or something. Am I still here? Okay. You should have some type of my signal went out. Was it? You should have some type of board or something that's like following up on these issues and have some kind of follow up. Like George Floyd, where was y'all at to say this is our point of view? This is what we doing about it. Like I don't hear nothing other than people that's just randomly in the community saying holding up signs saying Black Lives Matter. So it's like
they should have had something. I think before the people, by the people, they were trying to get away from the bureaucracy, but some of that stuff is actually a protection for the people involved and for the people investing. That way they could have followed up on the money. There is somebody checking because there has to be an audit. If there is, a community board, then, this many people, are involved maybe in political things, but this many people actually from the community where, the crimes or the shootings happen, the way to make sure it was balanced. Because then, these regular folk, not of a business mind, want to know, well, I want to know what happened with A, B, and C. And I like having community on boards because there's no decorum. This isn't their industry to have to, ask things appropriately. Like we're going to ask. That's what we're here for. I want to know. You asked me to be on the board. I'm asking questions. And it just doesn't seem like they were in a place to be asking or answering any questions. And it did become more of a business. I don't know. Of course, Black lives still do matter, but the business part of it is questionable.
But I guess the question is then obviously whoever started the movement just started it with the mind of just thinking in the moment, not thinking about it long term. Number one. Number two, people be investing in stuff. They don't be doing their background. They financial analysis of things. Like if you invest in Apple or if you invest in Walmart, you're gonna want to know what's the plan, what's the strategy, what's A, B, and C, what's your timeline. 2014 we doing this, 2015 we doing this, 2016 we do. But when it comes to play stuff like Black Lives Matter, it's a good cause. Let's just donate. Like
Man,
That's playing a lottery to me. Like you gonna
and
you
they
gonna
had a
win or you
lot.
gonna lose.
They got a lot of donations. A lot of donations. A lot. When people was just like, we need to donate a certain amount of our money towards racial injustice, we're sending it to Black Lives Matter. They didn't care or think about what was going on, but it was, they were really doing a lot of good in the beginning. Don't ask me to list the good, but I feel like that's what I read. They were doing a lot of good in the beginning, and then I guess as the publicity died down, I don't know if there was a financial advisor or what, but I don't think anybody's wrong to question at any time what they support. Always be questioning and rethinking what you support, especially if you're going to put, your dollars or your time behind it. If you're going to
Right.
speak publicly about it, like, research it and ask some questions. Decide what you think on your own at any time.
Right.
What
Right.
Tabitha Brown say? No was a complete sentence, but so was I changed my mind. So you change your mind anytime. You thought
Right.
about it, you looked at some new stuff, and actually, I withdraw my support. You can
Right.
still support, the movement,
Right.
but this organization, some people may not, and they have a right to do that. But I do think, if they wanted to get that support back, and if something else happened, because I think things just died down, and if they pick back up and this organization is not in the place where people were wishing that there was something like this before, like before George Floyd, things that way things can happen immediately. There's money, there's money to get people out of jail for, riots and stuff like that. There's money for lawyers. If that money isn't there, if it isn't there anymore, then we're gonna be back at what do you call it, at ground one? Back at
Square one.
square one.
There you go. Right. I mean, but on the flip side of that too, I mean, yes, some stuff happened. It was people done some money got missing, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, it also comes down to just people. They made, instead of making Black Lives Matter a movement, they made it a trend. It was trending. Everybody had their shirts. Everybody had the signs, whatever, and it became a trend. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it lost its luster because of how it was treated and how easily and frequently people started using it, not even realizing the actual purpose of it. And we would just people just be saying it to be saying it at this point. It ain't really got no good root analysis behind it. It's just Black Lives Matter, and they do. I'm not taking it away from it, but it's like it's losing a little piece every time you use it ignorantly. Just to be saying something like
every time.
Because me and you don't get along, that don't mean I got to throw out Black Lives Matter. Like
Black lives be mattering. It's the internet. It's such an interesting place, but because it went viral, because it was trending, they were able to have Black Lives Matter marches like all over the world. And that was amazing to see, especially during the pandemic. But because it was a trend, that's the reason why it became like it did, because that's what happens to trends on the internet. That's when eventually they die down and another trend takes its place. But hopefully you use the trend wisely and you have a business left behind in its place.
Right.
And you'll be ready for the next time if there's a moment you need to step in. But because it became a trend, like you said, as all trends on the internet, it just got replaced with another trend, especially when the world opened up and then people felt like they had other things to do, or they moved on to all the racial bias trainings, which was great, and they kind of felt like they were done, and they did what they needed to do already. Like, yeah, we had the training, we did groundwater training, and we bought the books, we read how to be anti-racist, and they checked that off the list. Now we'll move on to the fiscal year. Next on the agenda. They was done.
Right. Vince said Black Lives Matter is just as useless as the NAACP. I think useless is a strong word. Could they do better? Yes. Useless is a strong
in Pitt County, the NAACP, was, has a huge banquet and gets everybody together to vote, and you get to meet speakers, and I got to meet famous judge. So I don't know. It probably depends on where you are. If the NAACP does nothing, it's so big and broad. But back in the day, NAACP was like a chapter in your neighborhood,
Right.
and
Right.
you knew
Right.
who the people were, and you could do something with it. Like once it became, national, like a lot of stuff, it just kind of gets a little watered down.
Yeah.
But
That's the part that I don't understand is the waterization of it all. I don't know if that's a word, but it's
we'll take
like we'll take it, right? We'll take it. Because we still need the work that NAACP initially were doing. Like, why does it that it starts off so strong, and then now you only hear about them when it's something so big in the news? Now NAACP involved. Like, we don't hear about them otherwise unless it's something big and trending. Let's just be real. We don't hear about
man, I think it's
them.
I don't know. I haven't seen all the boards, but a lot of the people on the board, I would say, are older. Um,
Mm,
I don't know how elections necessarily work or whatever NAACP, or if it has to reroute, or if you just have to bow out when you're done doing it. But on community boards and stuff, when people rotate off and on, it just really helps bring new energy and new awareness and youth to it. Then so now you on the board, maybe you 30, you're like, yeah, this is Trina, we need to get on this, versus somebody who's been serving on the board for 30 years. Yes, we value and appreciate your experience and your loyalty to the organization, but now we're missing
right,
a few things,
right.
um just because of where you are in life, which is fine. But I don't know, we got a big history of tradition in the Black community, and some of that tradition kind of holds us
Dang, it
back
need to
from
go on in the grave somewhere.
progress.
I need to go on in the grave.
Such and such been a commissioner for 70 years. Oh, that's 70. That's nice. How old is she now?
Right. Can't even see nothing no more, but you still on it.
Look, I'm
Dementia done
not,
kicked in.
not trying to be ageist, but there may
Right.
be somebody who can, better
Fresh
fulfill the
eyes,
needs of
right.
the role. We need some fresh eyes, but we just value
Right.
tradition, and that's everywhere. Church,
We
the
do.
community, our organizations. People, especially in rural communities, like, the years you have on something, even serving with us, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they have all the pictures this of all the people who
Ain't it?
started the organization on the wall. New pictures of people. The people who
You been
started the organization on the wall.
you been serving 20 years, but you ain't been good since 10 years ago. Let's just be real. You just was a placeholder.
Don't matter. They be happy to have you. You speak at stuff, but you're just not really contributing like you used to, and that just kind
Right.
of keeps our historic organizations out of touch. But we do have our HBCUs, you know, doing some stuff. They usually have new people coming in and out.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
so that's
Yeah.
something.
I feel like once we as any organization that's representing the injustice of racial issues and things of that nature, we need to become proactive. We retro. We don't act till something happen. Like, okay, something has happened. We decided to make this movement or this board or whatever, and now we see that it's a problem, that people are getting mistreated, that people are getting underpaid, that people are being discriminated. Now, what are we doing to fix it long term? I don't feel
Hmm.
like nobody does that. Nobody's saying, all right, we need to look at policies. We need to be in front of these people. We need to be pushing these local politicians to move. Like, nobody's doing that piece. They just, something happened. We here, we fighting, we protesting.
Hmm.
Now what? I feel like nobody just
Money.
I
It's because
can't.
of the money. The money. You can't get money and support for an issue that you think may happen. Like, all right, y'all, this happened last year, and so we want to be prepared for next year. And you might get something, but not as much as you get if something just happened yesterday, which is the
Mm,
same as what they do for public health issues. If the
mm-hmm.
AIDS are high in the county one year, chlamydia is high, then they have a health educator for AIDS and chlamydia. But once it goes down, then they don't have funding anymore
They
for
disappear.
AIDS and chlamydia. And so the numbers have to be up for you to get money behind it. Oh, these are the numbers, and people are like, oh my gosh, we got to do something. Money, 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 money. Once it's down, they're like, well, numbers are on the decline, so we're good to go. We can, dial down all the efforts, which is, you could see, present day example is what they've done with COVID. Like, oh, okay, well,
Right.
it's died down. You don't really see the commercials anymore. You can find the mobile clinics and stuff. You got to go online and look for them. Before
You're
they were
right.
calling and texting you, but
Honey.
the money is gone now.
Right. Literally.
The money is gone. So it's like, I
Ah,
mean, if you want to come get a shot, you can. We'll be open. But I mean, how do you feel? You can just stay home if you want to.
for public and government and funded issues, I totally agree. I feel like there are some piece of people, and I am that piece of people that'll put in money for the long term goal.
Mhm.
But I can sit here and tell y'all wholeheartedly, I don't donate to a lot of stuff because I already know it's gonna be short lived and they just getting the money right now and they ain't gonna do nothing about the long term.
The
If you
building
come
fund.
right, if you come with me with an actual plan of we gonna do this first, this next,
Mhm.
this then all day long. But a lot of
Mhm.
y'all just short terming. I'm not investing in that. I'm sorry. Y'all can sit here and talk bad about me all you won't. It's too many organizations and causes and all this stuff we be donating to, and you don't hear nothing else from them after you donate.
Nope. Look, can I get an update on what are y'all doing?
Right.
What are doing with the money? I mean, I gave my $5. I need to hear what's going on. I
Right.
donate $5 every year, but it be the
Right.
money. I think churches, when people's like, hey, be donating to the building fund, but the church be having a good plan. A lot of for the building fund, you can see pieces of it. They have the
Oh, a
what's
lot
it
of them
called,
churches
poster
don't
up
have no
front.
good
Did you see the
plan.
floor plan? They were like, oh,
Uh,
this looks good. We do need a new building. They can put their
mhm.
money in the thing. Some churches, they had a
A
real good
lot.
building plan. And some of them, when you see it, you like, wow, this is nice. It did happen. I don't know. It'd
You're
be hard
right.
to get
You're right.
money for stuff that's happening in the future. You can do it, but you need to see that plan. Like you said, you have to be like, this is what we want to do. This
Right.
will happen. This is what we started working on, and we need this much money. Like the church bill, they had
The
the
little
thing so you can see how much just
where
how
the
much
little
money
fire
we
red be
need.
moving up. Yep.
With this much money, we can have our own office where we can tap the needs of Black community, and then
Honey.
you
Honey.
give your money. Maybe I
Uh-huh.
don't know.
Oh man, Chad said, what became a trend? We was talking about Black Lives Matter became less of a movement and more of a trend, is what we was talking about.
Mhm,
Vince said, to me, it seems they are ready to form boycotts before getting all the facts, making them look foolish. Our past state president got arrested so many times that he had a jail cell named after him.
mhm. One of those traditions.
Not the tradition. I'm done. I'm done.
You know.
Well, you're right. You're right. Like, yeah, I feel like we give up easily. A lot of folks in a lot of communities who are being done wrong feel like I'm fighting for it. It's gonna be done. We're gonna fix it. And then soon as it don't happen when we think it need to happen, we be like, well,
Mhm.
we tried.
Definitely. There's a
Well,
timeline on that stuff, and then some of it, I be wondering if they're working on it. Like if it was scheduled. Like sometimes like when it comes out, who got what many years or who was set free. There's just something else that happens at the same time, like the rent
mhm.
moratorium is ending on that day, or this other thing with Black Lives Matter happens this day. So there's a lot of distractions.
Mhm.
If you can distract the people, then they won't have time to pay attention to what's happening. They're like, oh,
Mhm.
I've got to worry about this. The rent moratorium, and then I ain't got time to be marching. I got to get that. Got to get to work.
Yeah.
I can't be doing this. And look, this is kind of my thing about the marching. People like, man, people just used to get out and they used to march. They be willing to lose their jobs. I'm like, yeah, but there was a support system for them. They knew people were going to need rides to boycott that bus system. The people who had cars took them. If you
Yeah.
boycott your job, we don't have a fund that's going to help you pay your rent.
Nope.
If you want to boycott
Nope.
the bus system, people, I would take you, but I live on the other side of town. I'm not taking you
Right.
to work.
Right.
It's like there's no system. You just want people to risk it all, but they were risking
Yep.
it all, but they knew they had support. I was like, and so you can't be
It's
listen. People
different.
might want to make the march, but the march is
Mm-hmm.
at 2 o'clock on Saturday. They had to pick up an extra shift because the light bill's a little higher.
You right.
Yeah, make the march.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier, like about supporting each other and bringing each other up. In the past, like especially around slavery time or around not even slavery time, but even after that, whenever we was in the rows apart phase and things of that nature, half of them heifers didn't even like each other.
Mhm.
But you know what? In the public eye, when the time came, they supported each other.
You are right, because that stuff came out way later in the book. They was in
Honey.
what they were. Why we putting the
Uh-huh.
pictures of them together? We didn't know.
Most of them couldn't stand each other. But they
Mhm.
banded together when time was necessary.
Mhm.
They banded together.
They did work together eventually, and I remember that when people like, yeah, you more of a Martin Luther King, I'm more of a Michael X. Like, they did work together eventually.
Mm-hmm.
They did, even though they had different ideals, they still understood what each other's
Right.
ideals were. It wasn't like, it was like, man, this is what I believe you should be doing, but he wasn't showing up at the MLK march like, no, forget this.
Right.
This is what we should be
Right.
doing instead. They just did their own thing until they did something together, but they both understood. I guess both were progressing, and they
They
supported
both
each
had
other.
the same assignment. They just had different paths to the
Mhm.
assignment.
They
And
had
they
different
and
paths.
they might have not liked each other's perspective, but they respected each other.
Mhm.
People don't do that no more. I don't like you, so I ain't gonna respect you either. Like, no, you can
Right?
do both. you
Right?
you cannot like somebody and respect them. I promise you, you
You
can.
absolutely can. They still deserve, the decency of respect as a human. Be like, man,
Right.
goodness. I be telling people, I'm like, what do you think this is? A movie? What you want me to do to the person I don't like? It's like, I don't have to do anything to them. I have my own things to do, and I
Right.
will not associate with them when I don't have to, but they will still get treated with respect and decency,
Exactly.
and they
Exactly.
will still
Exactly.
treat me with respect and decency.
That part. It's gonna go both ways. Okay. It's gonna go both ways. All right, just to close it out, I wanted to play this ignorant video of a
Oh,
representation of Black Lives Matter. It's real ignorant, but I had to play it because I seen it on TikTok.
Does Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I got this black guy right here.
Hey.
He's never kissed a white girl in his life.
Oh, wow.
So can he get a kiss for Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, sure.
All right, run it up.
Champagne.
Oh, okay. How does your boyfriend feel about this?
Hey, it's all good, man. I love black people.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, that's respect. Okay.
Why? I told you it was ignorant. It's your face for me. Sorry. This is
it's
what's
all
wrong.
good. I love Black people. Goodness gracious.
I don't know what's more wrong. The fact that it's a black guy leading the discussion and saying, okay, so he want to kiss if you like Black Lives Matter. Like, that is not what Black Lives Matter is.
It's not Black
And then
lives.
you gonna come in. I don't care. I love black people. Bye. I can't. The ignorance of it all.
No, the ignorance of, but I mean, can you imagine if she was just like, that is not what Black Lives Matter is about?
I would have respected her way more. A lot of people probably would have gave her a hard time. I'd have been like, right. I would have respected
Now,
it
she
way
shouldn't
more.
have to tell you that. Okay, y'all
Right.
should know better. That's how you know it's become a trend.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, they've let it become a trend. So the idea for the people, I guess, was a good idea. It probably should have been for the community. It just should have probably been, and maybe there is, I don't know much about the setup, but it just should have been, like one established like in each community where a major crime happened. And then
Right.
community led, not people people who are
Right.
the loudest, people who attract the most attention, but the people affected, the people who are going to be there when people are done marching through the town, because they would still be doing something now. At the very least, there would still be a meeting on the second Monday at 6 o'clock where they would have been discussing what's
Exactly.
happening.
Exactly. And I also believe like people look at situations from the past and see Martin Luther King and Malcolm and things of that nature. And really they were I mean, people are gonna hate that I say use this word, but they was the celebrity of the movement. Let's just be real. They was the face. They was who everybody knew. They was blase blase, but they was also the leader. I I think in today's time you can have a leader of the community, but they not be the celebrity of it all. They could just be the person who like, all right, let's bring it back. We said we was gonna do this last meeting. A, B, C, D, E, F, G was to follow up. And, you know, F, G, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And because no matter what people think, you need somebody. You need that person that's gonna be like, this is what we said last meeting. This is what the follow-up is. We need to schedule this. You need that person. And people can sit here and say you don't need it all day. But if that was the case, jobs wouldn't be hiring managers and supervisors. They don't want to pay half people anyway. Like, you need the person.
You do need
to
those
be
people.
the follow-up person. You need the person, the project manager of it all, to be like, this is the follow-up.
Without that, it falls apart. And people know that because they be like, man, since Barbara left, we haven't had a meeting. Be like, well, why didn't we get another Barbara? Who else is going to be Barbara now that she's gone? Because we need somebody to send out the meeting reminders and get the agenda together. It seems like a small role, but it's very important. Somebody's got to follow up, and we need somebody to take the minutes. All of these things are important.
All of these things are important. And that's why Sister So-and-so at the church is vital. Now, don't get me wrong, she don't need to be running the books no more. But Sister So-and-so gonna make sure you remember what you said last time and make sure you done what you was gonna say. I mean, you know what I mean? Done what you said you was gonna do.
Very important, man. I think they could still come back if they wanted to.
Right.
If they wanted to, they could come back. I just hope there's enough funds and people left interested in it that when, and I'm not, speaking it into existence. I'm just going off of history here. So we'll say when and if something else happens, that they, have enough pieces left to pull some stuff together. Because right now it's all the people left like, man, see, that's why I knew, it was flash in the pan. That's why you'll be donating stuff like that, because these people and this and this and this and this and this and this. And so, look, if you already donated to it, they don't need to be thinking about the money that you already donated. Your money went to the cause that it did. You've done your part,
Right.
And that's it. But
that goes back to when people say, I don't, a beggar on the side of the road is asking for money. I'm not going to get it here because he probably live in a big mansion. It's not about where he live. It's about the fact that you had the heart to give. I think people lose sight of their part in it. Your part in it is that they appeared or seemed or whatever, that they had a need and you did your part to fulfill it as a good person.
That's it. What, $1? I'll be like, shut up.
Whether they do right or wrong with it is between them and the Lord. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
$1. I don't be giving them no money. Like, I'm just giving them $1, but still.
You can't even go to a Dollar Tree no more with $1. You gotta have $1.25 and some checks, okay?
They be 9 cents. I'm like, with $1? That ain't enough. I don't know how much it costs, but I know it ain't $1. It's fine. I'm giving my $1. I can't go back and take it. Like, actually, I don't feel right about it, sir. Could you give me that $1?
Right. What is also true about it, and people don't want to hear it though, is that a lot of times people donate because that's actually the easy way. In reality, you can donate your time. You could be a lawyer that say, I'm gonna do a couple of cases for free. You could be a person that say, I'll run the books for free. You can actually do some other stuff by not donating. But guess what? You're gonna donate because I can just donate my money and then somebody else is gonna do it, and then you just have faith because somebody else is going to do it. No, in reality is if you don't trust it, you cannot actually give $1, but actually work.
1 hour.
People don't want to do that.
Time would help somebody out a whole lot.
People don't want to do that.
People don't want to do that. They don't want to donate. Be like, man, this is crazy. This and this trash on these streets. Well, if you volunteer, they have adopt a street. They clean up every Saturday. Oh, maybe not this Saturday, but I could try to make it one Saturday.
Yeah, I'll buy some trash bags. Put the trash in. I buy the trash bags for it. Like they done something.
Get an hour. Take an hour and get out there and pick up some of that trash. If it bothers you, serve some soup if you concerned. I was talking to this guy, and that's some stuff I have to like screen for that don't be on my list until it's on my list, which is like compassion. Man, these people out here, they could do better. I mean, they could really just get a job. I'm like, what? You think people are out there on the street because they haven't applied for a job? That's what you think? You think that's what's happening out here? You think so? They got mental health issues, they got drug issues, they don't have no address to put down. Who knows? They could have literacy issues. They just fell off. Maybe just need a little help. They might need some assistance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always as simple as a job and your dollar. People complain about that dollar, your bag of chips
Mm-hmm.
you give them. They ain't solving all anybody's problems either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of this just needs like a whole kind of system in place to help people. I'm like, even if every homeless person applied for a job right now, there wouldn't be enough jobs to go around. And the
Won't
ones
be
that
enough
are available,
jobs,
they wouldn't be
and they gotta
qualified.
have a ride there, and they gotta deal with people not talking about because they stink coming up in the job,
Mhm.
uh, or everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Need
it's a
the
lot.
uniform.
It's
They
definitely a
need
lot
their
more
license
factors.
number on the
Right,
application. I don't know why they asked for that. Like, why y'all worried about how I get there?
right,
Just give me the
right.
license number on the application.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I mean, I think both can be true. I think there is some people who try to take the easy way out, so I don't want to take away from that. But I also feel like there's way more people that's not doing that, and we don't give them the credit for it. Like
Well,
it's easy to say what we wouldn't or would or wouldn't do when we not living it. If I'm with somebody who worked a job for 20 years, making $100,000 a year, and then I get laid off, and then I can't find no job nowhere, and then you expect me to go work at McDonald's for $20,000 a year and survive. In my mind, I'm like, it ain't no point. I'm gonna be so behind on my bills. It don't matter if I go.
mm-hmm.
But in your mind, you like, nah, you could have went to work. Like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, stuff is easier said than done. Like, people got to realize that. In reality, should they still try to work and do the best they can? Probably. But you can't say what you would do unless you in that situation.
No, you can't. You can't. And your best isn't somebody else's best. And I know it's hard. I was like, it's hard. I was like, I just don't know. It's like, yeah, some people are faking it, but some people are sleeping outside when it's 100 degrees and when it's 30 degrees.
Right.
That ain't the easy way out. I'm like, these people are struggling, and then they stand out and ask for money all day, or get
Make
high. I'm like,
$22
that's
in a Kit Kat, as
understandable.
Chats would say. $22 in a Kit Kat.
$20 on Kit Kat.
Which somebody like me was spending 2.2 seconds. Let's just be real. A trip to Starbucks and that's gone. Like, like
And it be gone. Like, people out here struggling for real, and that's why if you are giving your money to circle back. To something like, no, be careful. People are giving you their money. Be careful with it, because what they say, everybody ain't able, but everybody just don't have money. They're not giving money like this is extra. They're like, I appreciate this. I appreciate you doing this work. I want to sow a seed into what you're doing, not extra money, because I don't even believe in that. Ain't no extra. What's extra money? This ain't extra. I need all of it. But
right.
like,
But
don't be crazy with people's money. Like, that's
don't be crazy with people's money, but also don't give money with a condition.
yeah.
You can't do that. It might blow up and be exactly what you gave the money and it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it might not. The progress or the blessing from the gift, the result of it. That's the part that people miss.
You still had a heart to give.
Yep.
Still
Yeah,
gave
hard
it
to
from
give.
the
Yeah,
heart.
hard to give. Vern said really to that video we played. I mean, I played earlier with the girl and the black guy and the kiss. And in chat said I try to do both. It's same. I try to do both as well. I do definitely give to nonprofits and give to agencies that I believe in. But I also work very hard in outreach with my church and with work and things of that nature to give as well through action. I'm not a believer that you just give money, and that it's gonna solve the world problems. But I'm also not a big believer that it don't take money to make things work. Like you have to, it's a balance of both.
Is a balance of both.
It's a balance of both.
I don't volunteer here, haven't found a cause out here. But back in the East, I used to volunteer a lot. And there's people like, man, I appreciate what you're doing out here. You seem like you're happy to be here. I'm like, well, I am happy to be here. No, I'm not, I don't have a volunteer hour sheet or nothing like that. I'm just here on Saturday morning to do what I can. I'm like, oh, that's nice. okay. I was still gonna do it if nobody told me it was nice or not, but people do appreciate you giving your time. Not that they don't appreciate the money, but they do appreciate you
And
giving your
a
time.
lot of real people want you to do the time over it all. Like a lot of nonprofits and organizations out there, you giving money is the minimum. I mean, I ain't saying they don't appreciate it, but it's like if you could sit there and say I'm gonna come one day a week and volunteer and be there in the trenches, they'll take that over any day you giving $2. I promise you.
They would appreciate it. Posted you. So thankful for Shaddam. She came out here and gave
Exactly.
her time, and we just so grateful and
Exactly. Exactly.
talking
Because a
about
lot
you
of places they got them same 4.5 folk doing everything.
so much,
So
so
your
everything.
$2.50 a week you give. I mean, I ain't saying don't give it. So don't
Mhm.
misconstrue what I'm saying, but I'm just saying like it's more ways
You could just
than just
also
give
give a little time, a little talent. Man, there's this organization in Greenville called Horoscope, and she's brought together like people with different like time and talent to just do a bunch of stuff at the Horoscope events. Oh, you can paint. Okay, can you do face paint for the kids? You do finance. Oh, can you do this on this day? Oh, t-shirt design. Yeah, that'd be nice. We can have a section, and then all this thing on
Mhm.
one day where people just bring their time and their talents together and just offer them for free to the community. And I just
Mhm.
like that is awesome. Go.
It
I'll be
is.
there.
It is. It is. Vern said, giving money with conditions is about as worse as asking God to bless you, but you have conditions on the blessing. Facts.
Oh, we mean, Lord, I won't do this no more. If you
Honey,
you help me out of
Lord,
this, I won't
Lord, I
do
want you to bless me with the money, but I don't want to do no factory work for it. I ain't trying to shuffle nothing for it. I ain't trying to get up every morning at 8 a.m. for it now, but I want the money.
Mhm, mhm. Bless me with second shift, Lord. Good
Right.
for the job, but second
Second
shift,
shift, and don't let it
second
be
shift,
no
Lord.
coworkers that I don't like, and let it not be that much. I'm only gonna actually work 2 hours out of the 8. Oh, look, okay, Lord,
Mhm.
I know you can do it.
I know
In
you can do
Jesus'
it,
name.
Lord. You said all I have to do was ask, Lord, and what I'm asking is that I don't get third shift, Lord, because I'll be tired. I can't work overnight. You said in your word, we're like, oh God.
Woo! You said asking, you shall receive. I'm asking, Lord, that you give me lots of money, but I'm only gonna work 8 to 12 every day. In the
Oh
name of
God.
Jesus.
The Lord has been like, what? What? Let me rewind. I done tuned out. I feel like he's rewinding it. Like, what? Wait a minute. What she
He said
say?
he gonna bring the art back and wash this whole world out. Y'all keep on asking for them prayers. Keep on. He gonna wash us out.
Take this out. This is good. You talking about third shift, but the people you need to be around on third shift. Okay, second
Mhm.
shift is a mess. That's why I got you on third. Something's gonna happen there. Just wait a minute.
That
Dang.
part. That part. I'm keeping you on
Supervisor there
third because
looking for an
somebody gonna
assistant
shoot up
supervisor.
second because somebody girlfriend did something ignorant. I'm keeping you on
Mhm.
third to save your life. Okay.
Right? I'm trying to keep you out of trouble because you prayed for that last month. You forgot, but I didn't. I got you.
Oh God, it's so true.
That's how my
Oh,
Lord be talking. Be like, see, you think I forgot, but I did. You forgot.
oh, he be talking to me like that too now. Just yesterday you said.
Yesterday before the timestamp, 2:45, you was praying at work. And you said,
Uh-huh. He probably be like me, like yesterday you told me to help you hold your tongue, but today you telling
mhm,
me to give you the courage to say your tongue. Which one you want?
right?
Okay?
Which one
Which
you
one?
want? And I'm an overthinker. So he'd be like, furthermore, last year, you additionally, if you think, he's like, okay, I
Not
think that's
last year.
everything. Thanks. Good night.
Oh man. I say it all the time, but people ain't never happy. We ain't never happy. Let's be real. We ain't never
Man,
happy. When
no,
Chad
we're
said it,
not.
Lord, it's me again.
Ah! It's me again. It's been like 5 minutes, but I forgot. I didn't know if I had asked you because you remember last week when I was.
Oh, it's me again. I know I said I was gonna stop hoeing yesterday, but today was really the final time. I'm gonna stop doing it, Lord.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna do it no more, Lord. I promise.
Ain't
He
gonna do it
lying.
no
He
more.
already know.
He
He already
know.
know you got a date Thursday. He already know what's going on.
He know what you be doing. So I'll be like, Lord, if I ain't supposed to be in this situation, take me out. Like I know you give nudges and signs, Lord, but I'm gonna ask you for more than that if you can. I
If you
need
can, just
the
kick
car
me off
not
the
to work.
steps. I need you to kick me off. I'm gonna be on the first step. I need you to make sure I just don't even meet step 2,
Mhm.
3, and 4. Just
Right,
put me on the ground, Lord.
right. I don't
Break my
need to
nose
be
and my
there.
lip.
Keep me out of it. Okay? I don't put me there, Lord. Don't depend on me.
And then as you land in the hospital bed, Lord, why me?
You're like, I told you not to go, but everybody has the right to make their own choices, and I'm not one to hold you back.
But Lord, you said you will watch over and protect me. You said that you will make sure that I'm safe in your arms, is what you said.
Like, I told you, you went anyway. Your car didn't work. You got a flat tire on the way,
That part, the battery
but
died. The honey, you ran
but
out of gas.
somehow
You
you
went to the
still
gas
made it to
station.
the
The
park.
pump had the little bag over it. You got all these signs.
And you went, and people were getting stuff like that. They were like, man, I had a feeling. I just knew I won't feeling right. I was like, man, you gotta listen to that feeling. Sometimes that be all the Lord can send to you. Be like, you ain't open to me right now, but I'm gonna send you this little signal.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you at least hear that. You've been drinking. And the music is loud, but that's I'll do what I can for you. I put that heavy feeling in your chest. You didn't listen to it.
I ain't actually I didn't give you corona. I gave you COVID so you couldn't make it and you had to quarantine. But guess what? You day 7, you still was over there day 8. You
You
ain't
were
not
over
listening.
there. You don't listen to nothing, and you don't listen.
Now you
Okay.
done mess with him and you got monkeypox, but I bet you already
Oh
done
Lord, not the monkeypox. Not the monkeypox. I can only do what I can only do so much. He can only do so much to protect us. Which is why I be talking to people like, we be saying he knows everything, but we got free will. I'm like, you do got free will. Those choices you make with things didn't end up right, and you didn't learn nothing from it, and you wish you did something different, those are your choices.
Chastity said, smack me, and then she said, woo, child, bye. As you know, he be giving them signs. We just be ignoring them. We already know. He start off with that gut feeling. You ignore the gut feeling. Then he give you the sign from like if it's a dude, he give the dude to say something stupid. That's sign number 2. Then sign number 3, like you know what I'm saying. He give you the signs. We just don't be
He
listening.
give you the signs, and I feel like on sign number 3 or 4, just depends on how much time he got. He'd be like, "Well, listen, I've literally done all I could do, my child. I might see you up here with me tomorrow." If you don't listen to one of the 3 things, I be trying to reach out to y'all, but you don't listen good.
And don't look. Chad says she don't listen. She don't. Vince said, "Miss you, Chassie. We do miss you.
We do miss you, Chad. Come
We
on
do.
back. I ain't
But
cussing. Let me say something. Damn it.
I'm done. She worked hard for that D. That D was strong on it too. It was real strong.
That's for you, Chaz. I gotta be into it. I might let 1 or 2. I gotta be on the road. I have a little whiskey. Not whiskey on the road. Just 2 separate things. That's the things that bring the cuss out.
Hey, she got frustrated one day because she don't cuss like that, but she got frustrated one day and said 3 cuss words in like one paragraph, and I was like, "Oh snap, she for real." All at one time. Woo! It's for real now.
Man, I didn't say my sister had me on speakerphone. My nephew was like, "Auntie Tierra, I'm Tierra cussing now. I'm like, what? Don't worry about what I be doing.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Oh man. All right. Well, we way past time, but it's been a great episode. I think we had an amazing conversation. We're gonna have what I call closing remarks. Closing remarks. I'm gonna start off first since I've been putting you on blast first. I'm gonna start off first with closing remarks. I seen this post on LinkedIn actually, and I felt like it was so powerful. The first part of it say just do nothing. The next screen says it is possible. But actually you're supposed to look at the full perspective of it, and it says just do it. Nothing is impossible. So the goal of this is saying you got to look at life from more than just one angle. I feel like a lot of us is one angle. We be in the midst of that storm, but all we see is the tornado and the lightning and that dark cloud and the thunder, but we don't see the rainbow on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like this was powerful because when we in the midst of trouble, or we're in the midst of going through a job where you got that one employee that ain't worth nothing, or argumentative or over talkative, or you in the midst of the job not paying you right, or you in the midst of going to church and you got situations happening in that church you don't feel right, or you in the midst of a relationship and y'all not getting along at the moment. Like, if you look at the bigger picture, I feel like we could get much further in life. We live in the moment too much, and that's me included. I think that's just our generation. We live in the moment. Which, don't get me wrong, that's good sometimes. We want to have fun. We want to YOLO. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I say it sometimes. Hey, you only live once. Let's do it. But we have to look at all angles. We have to look at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And a lot of times we enjoy the beginning, we see the middle, we forget the end.
Man, I be having a lot of angles. I have too many. And that's why I need my friends and family. They help me narrow it down to 3. I got 3 angles. What's possible, what's impossible, what's possible for other people, what could be possible for me, what has been possible, what should be possible. I'll be like, oh my God.
That sounds like 6 or 7.
I'm telling you, I have a lot. I'm like, man, I'm overthinking. I haven't made a decision yet. It's been 3 days. I got 18 angles. I just need to do something, you know. I wish I could YOLO more. If my move here taught me anything, it's kind of like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Facts. I think a lot of that is what holds us back. Oh, I'm gonna do this big thing and it's gonna be terrible. It might not be. Or it might be okay. And it might be for a moment. Like, I feel like that's a piece. We feel like we have to make a move in life and it's just gotta be great. No, it might just be a stepping stone to great.
Might be. Or if it is terrible, do you know how to handle terrible things? You do. What do you usually do when it's something you don't like? You just have to do something different.
Right. Right. I'm a true believer that everything in life is a lesson or a blessing. Everything. But a lot of times we don't be wanting that lesson. But that lesson help us grow and learn and build and mature and learn how to deal with life. That's our lessons is our life insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that's some kind of a word. Sorry.
But
write
that down. Put that in the paper later.
Put that in there for later. But it is like it help us build. For if we can survive some of the stuff that we survive, we can survive anything. But we take away from the fact that we survived it and we overcome it and we lived it and we grew from it. We take away from that. We just say, I ain't trying to deal with that. I ain't got time. I'll probably say I ain't got time for stuff all the time.
Why? What you doing? What you doing? What somebody was like, you could watch. There was like 6 Netflix shows, 6 hours. You can have a certification. That's it. That's what 6 classes you ain't got time for in the evening. You watching 6 Netflix.
If I'm able, forget that. If I'm able to have 6 hours to watch something, that's some good rest to me because I got a lot on my dang plate between work, kids, hubby, church, school, outreach, family. If I can have a day where I got 6 hours, I'm like, woo! Let's do it.
Or some Netflix or a book. When you break down the time, you have more time than you think. You just gotta reorganize it.
You right. That's facts. You gotta reorganize and you gotta prioritize.
You look at that thing on your phone, that thing on your phone that tells you what apps you spending the most time on. You take something
Indeed.
else.
It be like, this week you spent 12 hours on Facebook. I'm like, dang, 12 hours?
I had to cut back. What was I
That's
doing?
a whole shift for some people.
Mm-hmm. A whole
That's
shift.
a
A
whole
whole
shift.
shift.
You
But
got any closing remarks? Sorry.
no, this was this was great. Hopefully nobody don't, judge me harshly for my commentary.
I doubt it. If
This
anything,
was great,
I
great
mean,
talking. I miss Chad. Um, she's always a good time, but thank you for having me on here.
yes, you did amazing. Amazing. That's why you was first on the list.
Oh yes. So don't tell me who else is on the list. I don't care what. I could have been number 8. I'll be like, lucky number 8.
You know what? Done. I'm done. I'm done. All right, for those that are watching this weekend, Chas is in a play called Guns of Ava. I'm opening up the play with the national anthem, but she is actually in the play. So if you're in the Burlington area on this Saturday at the Paramount Theater, please, please, please support her, support this project. The play is amazing. I'm already seeing myself auditioning next year, so it's pretty good. And please, please, please come and support. Sorry. Oh, Chastity said you did great. Vince said you wonderful co-host. So there you go. There you go.
What I can as a substitute.
Come on now. Also, please, please, please make sure if you're watching this now or later, subscribe, follow, like our pages. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, and like all of those avenues. If you are somebody who you think would be a great guest, or you have any great topics that we need to discuss, always feel free to hit us up on our Facebook, Instagram page, or email us at occasionallyposh@gmail.com. And then also, even though we're talking about this ill investments of Black Lives Matter, if you want to give to our cause, because this ain't free, you can do so at our cash app at #occasionally posh. So we thank you guys for always tuning in. We love it. And we hope to see you next week. And bye-bye.
Bye.